And it's Monday. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Try It Together. I am your host and founder, Pratipa Day. You are tuning in for your cup of courage, hope, and imagination today. Ooh, okay, Briana. This coffee is really damn good. So, before I continue with that, I just want to say that we use courage on this platform to showcase our stories. We use hope to overcome, and we use imagination to resonate and understand with the stories that are being shared. So, with that, I'd like to welcome my friend, Miss Briana Thomas. Ooh,
Hello,
from
hello. Thank
Thailand.
you. Hey, everyone. Thank you
Where do
for
you?
having me.
Yeah, tell them where you live in Thailand.
All right. So currently I live in Copenhagen. So I live on the islands and I absolutely love it. I got stranded here about a month and some change ago because Thailand has stopped domestic travel with COVID.
Oh,
So I'm now an island girl and I'm just taking it all in.
wow. And I love your look.
My gosh. Thank you. I feel like I'm just flowing. I'm able to be free here. I've been walking with no shoes, not that much. Not that
Yes,
much. But
I
I
love
feel
that
like
in
being here is like
Thailand.
a lot of grounding for me. Yes.
Thailand definitely does that. One time I was walking home after school, right? Because I was teaching ESL there with kindergarten, pre-K.
Mhm.
I was walking and my shoe ripped or something. So I was just walking with, my inner sock. And it was like, it felt so normal. It's not a big deal. Nobody judges you. You're walking barefoot in
Mhm.
Thailand. So that was
Yeah.
really interesting. I'm like, wow, like, I don't know. I do miss it. I do miss it. And I do plan to go back. So that's so
Yes.
exciting.
Please do.
So I want to ask you a question. Do you want to share
Okay.
your age with me? How old are you?
Man, this is a secret, but no, not really. I'm 29.
What? No,
Yes.
you're not. Are you
I really
serious?
am. Hmm.
I'm 28, so I'm gonna
I
turn
know.
29. What? You're older than me? People come to you and think you younger, right? Way
Yep,
younger,
all the
right?
time. Hmm.
Wow, you are not 29.
Hmm. Yeah,
So,
when I was a
yeah,
teacher, like whenever parent teacher night would
yeah,
come, they'd be
yeah.
like, "Wait, where's Miss Thomas? Like, are you sure? Like, yeah, I'm sure. I just want to hang out with y'all for fun at night."
Especially because you're a slender physique. African American
Mhm.
females with slender physique, they can look younger too in the genetics and like amazing
Yeah.
skin. You know what I mean? It's genetic.
Thank
It
you.
is. So
Yeah.
let me tell the viewers a bit about you. So Miss Brianna Thomas is a wellness coach. She truly is. I can attest for that. Who empowers women to become mentally, physically, and spiritually fit so they can fall more in love with themselves daily. Before I go on, I want to say everyone should check out your Instagram for your posts because they are very spiritual and you do live
Mm,
in
thank you.
Thailand. So it's a vibe. So before starting BNU Wellness, that's BENU Wellness. Brianna worked 6 years as an educator, as she just stated, and a coach. After a successful career helping shape young minds academically, she saw a need to mold people's emotional intelligence. Boy, do we need that.
Real.
Thank you, God. Like by formulating healthy routines with nutrition and fitness. Wow. So the first question that comes to mind is what's your nutrition fitness like being in Thailand? The foods there.
Oh, wow. I would say for me, this is the best place to be. I am a vegetarian.
Oh wow.
I'm a fleegan, I tried to be vegan, but like I will eat some dairy sometimes because ice cream is my stuff or some eggs.
Mhm.
But I feel
Yeah.
here is so great because the cost of living is so low and it's fresh produce everywhere. Every single
Mhm.
where I can buy bananas if I need to, not far away. They're cooking on the side of the road, like you've been to Thailand. So there's many food stalls on the side of the road that I can have. So for me, nutrition has been like, I think key because I've been able to play around here in Thailand. Like I've learned tofu does not work for my system. No matter
Mm.
how many times I try it, it's just not for me. So looking in, what are my substitutes for soy? And also the language barrier, like I'm the kind of person I want to ask a bunch of questions. Like,
Yeah.
okay, please help me. How do I make it? So I will go to the market and pick up random vegetables that I haven't used before. And I'm like, all right, we're just gonna make some magic. I don't know what it is. They told me that I can do this, this, and this with it,
Mhm.
and I'm just gonna go. I love that almost everywhere has vegan options. There's also like meat,
Really?
keto. Yeah, any diet you have, Thailand accommodates for it. I like that it's a Buddhist country as
Really?
well because
I
there's
think it's
I love the labels to know
yeah.
that it's vegan.
I
Hmm.
think it's just the area I lived in because they didn't accommodate for that. They don't have those options. So
Wow.
the area I lived in was rural Thailand, next to Ubon, 8 hours from Bangkok. It was rural. It was a lot of chicken and pork every day. That's what
Yeah.
they served, and the schools as well. And as you spoke about dairy, in the stores there, 7-Elevens, they don't have dairy free options. Like it is what it
Yeah.
is. It's very cutthroat, as in like it's simple, like in and out. You go there, you grab it, you're out of there.
Mhm.
So I find that to be really interesting. But what part of Thailand do you live in? Like, is it north, south?
Ah.
Do you know?
Yeah, for me, like I've spent majority of my time in Chiang Mai.
Yeah,
So that has
I have yet
been
to go
more.
there.
Oh my gosh, you definitely have
And
to come
I
back.
did go to Koh Samet though.
No, you're missing it.
Yeah,
Chiang Mai. Who anyone going to Thailand, go to Chiang
yeah.
Mai. You will definitely fall in love. There is something to do for
Wow.
everything, everyone, every taste bud is there. So for me, I loved that because I knew
Mm,
that was like the digital nomad hub. Like I
mm,
met so many people within the first few months of me even moving to Thailand. And in that helped because I was in more of a city. And I have been to the rural parts of Thailand and I'm like, yeah, I know those 7-Elevens you went to were empty, but I love 7-Eleven here. You can get breakfast, lunch, dinner, like
mhm.
really quickly for any diet. And I like that it's actually 24/7, which you're not used to in the States, I feel.
Right.
Um, and then you asked me another question about fitness. How do I keep up
Mhm.
with fitness?
Yeah, in
For me,
Thailand, like, what is your routine there?
okay, my routine switches up.
Mm.
One thing I have been studying Muay Thai and like MMA for the past
Yes,
5 years.
I had a
Yeah,
class there for it. It's so fun.
I absolutely love Muay Thai.
Yeah.
I discovered it at a time where I felt that I was very angry and needed a release in a sense. And I
Mhm.
was like, yeah, I ain't ready for therapy. Let me go punch some stuff.
Yeah.
And like I think relationship has changed since then, and I value the art of it more. So when I came
Mm,
here, I studied Muay Thai for a year. Uh, 3 times a week. As I said, I'm also a trainer, so I tend to work a lot with body weight. And so a lot of the times I will like
mm.
every morning I have to get up and work out for an hour. Like I cannot, don't talk to me. Like my phone is on do not disturb. It is
Good.
legit like, hey, this is my hour of me time to
Mm,
one, mentally strengthen myself, spiritually strengthen myself, and physically strengthen myself. So in that, I do a lot of things at home. I am like a very active person, so I
mm,
find different ways to work out. So if we're going to a restaurant, I'm probably doing squats, like walking in. If there's a lot of stairs, I'm like, hey, anybody want to work out with me?
mhm.
Like I absolutely love hiking. My friends think I'm crazy. Like I love hiking, and living in Chiang Mai afforded me the
Mm,
opportunity to hike so much. So for me, the biggest thing is being outdoors. And they have a lot of free gym equipment, like free outdoor gyms here. So I'm
mhm,
like, all right,
mhm.
you're gonna pass one? I'm about to get on it. So I'm gonna work out, even if it's 10 minutes for right now. I'm gonna get on these little steps. Boom. Or I'm like in the Muay Thai gym or hiking.
Mm.
Those would be my absolute things. I actually have just
Wow.
started BJJ, so Brazilian Jiu Jitsu.
Oh, wow.
And yeah, I'm going to incorporate that next into training. Because for me, it's like I'm not in competition with anyone. It's not like I see someone and I'm like, oh, body goals. It's I want to
Mhm,
learn something new and I want to be
mhm.
able to like fully immerse myself in it so that I can say, hey, I really love this or I do not. And I
Yeah.
can also see how my body responds to it. So
I
that's
like what you said about excuse me, what you said about body goals because I also don't look up to, anyone else. Like, do you? Like, as in, I appreciate myself and I don't compare because that makes it worse.
oh, yes. I feel like for me, I think growing up, I've
Mhm,
people call me little. I'm 5'2". I'd like to say no, that's disrespectful. Like I've
mhm,
always had a very hard time with maintaining weight. So when I would see in the media, like, oh, everyone's thick and you got all these boobs and all these hips, I'm not going anywhere. Like, that's the
Mhm.
reality of it. Like, this is,
Yeah,
look,
I'm
I've been the
21.
same size since I was 13. Like, this is just
Mhm.
where it's at. And I have to accept that because I am beautiful. So for me,
Mhm.
when I get up in the morning, like, my favorite affirmation is I'm the sugar honey iced tea. Like, I am gorgeous.
Woo!
I look amazing. And these are the things that I tell myself because I feel like I spent too much time trying to compare myself and do these other things. And I was also an athlete growing up. So when I got
Mm.
really muscular, oh, it was another problem. So I'm either too skinny or I'm too muscular. And then, it was just
Yeah.
like a headache. So I feel now, I wouldn't say that I have body goals, more
Mm.
like body crushes. So Serena
Hmm.
Williams is one of
Oh,
mine.
yeah,
She's
yeah.
the GOAT. Tiana
Mhm.
Taylor, like her confidence alone is a goal of mine.
Mhm.
So I change it. It's like,
Yes.
oh, it's a crush. Like I can learn from you, but I don't really want that because this is
Yeah.
already great. Mhm.
Yeah. Like, as in, they say in our vision boards in general, right? Like, who do you look up to? Like Oprah, Tyler Perry, are some of mine. And, when it comes to the body, like, I think they all have great bodies, the names you stated. But I know that I'm not going to look like them.
Mhm.
Like, as in, you just want to be fit, but, you're not going to physically look like them. They are them, you are you. And I believe that's important to remember. But I like that you said you want to take confidence, from Tiana Taylor, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. The confidence that's something you aspire to be, you want to be at that level. And then for Serena, like, you want to be that muscular and fit, correct? Yeah.
Yes. Oh my gosh. One day. One
Yeah.
day.
But you're already there. Like, I see you. Like, I seen you in your yoga outfit. Like, you look great. Like, I don't see any, fat like hanging out. Um, how many years have you lived in Thailand now?
Oh, wow. Ooh. I have lived in Thailand almost 3 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh, time goes by. I had to think about that.
I know. Did you go to there to teach?
Yes, well,
Mhm.
yes and no. So I had
Mhm.
lived in Dubai prior where I
Oh,
taught,
wow.
and I realized that I was just not happy in the classroom. I feel like I
Mhm.
lost myself. So I remember my friends actually forced me, in a sense, to visit Thailand one day
Yay.
randomly. They're like, come on, come on. And I'm the kind of person I don't believe the hype. Like, all y'all could go. I'm gonna go like 3, 4, 5 years later because I just don't believe it. And from the moment I landed in Chiang Mai, I was like, "Oh, I'm gonna move here." Like, I just felt
Mm.
it. 6
Same.
months later, I made it happen. So, at first, I was like, "Okay, let me try and teach her a little bit, like, why not?"
Mhm.
Wasn't it for me. I feel like 6 years in the classroom, I now can see how much of myself I was giving to others, like,
Mm. Oh,
constantly giving
yeah.
to
Teaching is
so much.
exhausting.
My gosh, the shows, like, I look at it like, all right, teaching in the States is one thing. So I taught in Dallas in
Right.
Title I schools, and it was a
Mhm.
whole different environment to then
Oh,
go to
yeah.
Dubai with kids that have chauffeurs and are pulling up in Ferraris. So I
Oh,
then
wow.
started to become a little more materialistic because I'm like, oh, I'm on the show. I got to make sure I look good each time.
Wow.
And it wasn't until like I was able to move to Thailand that I realized that I needed calm. Like Dubai was
Mhm.
cool and all. There was so much going on. Even with teaching,
Mm.
there's constantly so much going on. And I needed to stop and check in with myself. So I actually my mom thinks I'm crazy. I moved to Thailand. I had a job, quit that job real quick. And I was like, hey, I'm going to go on a sabbatical. Like, I just want to take 6 months to figure out my own hobbies because I don't know them anymore. I've been Miss T
Mhm.
for most of my 20s. I don't know what Brianna likes to do these days. Like
Wow.
normally when I was teaching and I would have the weekend, I'm sleeping or I'm grading or
Yeah.
I'm doing anything to get some type of energy. Like I
Um,
always felt drained. So
yes.
then in that, it afforded me the opportunity to reconnect with myself, just
Mhm.
like with my relationship with my body and what I wanted to do with that and how I wanted to help others because I feel like I have a weakness for kids. Oh, they're so cute. I don't want them. Hey, return to sender. Return to sender is my power. Um, but I love interacting with them and
Right.
teaching things. And so I ended up getting a fitness job here in Thailand at this gym I train at.
Oh,
And
wow.
I
How'd
love the
that
fact
happen?
that I think it's divine timing. The
Mhm.
universe was just like, "Hey, you've been a coach. You've actually like been working out. You keep helping these people. So here's an opportunity. Let's see how you like it." Because I was struggling to figure out how to take my passion for education and fitness and like combine them.
Mm.
So
Would you ever teach kids fitness?
oh, yes, definitely. I actually had a kids fitness class. We did kids
Wow.
yoga, we did kids Muay Thai, and I was like, "Oh, this is so great. This is how I can
Wow.
get my in," and then I'm back out. I'm back out though.
Wow. When was
Yeah.
this?
This started the beginning of COVID actually.
Oh
Yeah.
my God. Wow.
Mhm.
Wow. And right now you're on the island due to COVID. Do you know when you're gonna leave?
Oh, yeah, no. It has like when I said like all last week, I was stressed, Pratiba,
Yeah.
stressed because I had come like to visit just for a mental reset. Because I feel like
Mhm.
I'm doing all these great things, but I'm running out of energy. Like I want to keep
Mhm.
going, but my mind's like, nah, we're not there. So I stopped everything. I'm like, I'm not responding to emails. I'm not studying. Like I'm not worried about anything other than being present for one full
Mhm.
month. Like, I just want to be present and say yes to more things. So I did that. I have been enjoying it. I've been making so many new connections, but I don't know when I'm going to come back because with COVID
Oh,
rates increasing,
yeah.
like Thailand has not played. There's no public
Wow.
transportation.
Wow.
Yeah,
I
not
know
a
what
bus,
that's
not a
like.
train. Yeah, not
Oh
a nothing.
no, that is stressful because I've lived there. Hello, that is the way of life. I can only
Yeah,
imagine. Oh, my heart.
yeah.
I'm so glad I came back right before COVID, like right before.
Mhm.
I didn't even know COVID was going to happen. It was timing, like you said, right? But for
Divine
you,
timing.
you enjoy it there. Like I wanted to come back, but you enjoy it. And, you're going to keep staying, right?
Oh, yes. I feel like right now,
Mhm.
Thailand, it brings me so much tranquility,
Oh,
and there's so much growth that I can see in myself within, like, the past 3 years, so I'm not quite ready to leave just yet, and
wow.
I've connected with, like, just such beautiful like, wow, I went to a party and all my friends brought fruit. These are the kind of people I like.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I'm meeting more like-minded people and,
Do you
like, challenging my
Yeah.
limited
Do you drink
beliefs, so
alcohol? Do you drink al I know, like, beer is so popular there.
I do, but not really. I will drink for special occasions.
Mhm. I like
For
they brought
me
fruit.
yeah, that was the thing, like, we all brought fruit and granola, and, like, this was this past weekend,
Wow.
all healthy stuff. We had smoothies for breakfast and little
Wait,
parfaits. I'm like,
did you go to Big C? Do they have Big C near you right now?
yes, they have Big C, but we went to Macro too. Have you been to Macro?
I
For
can't
those that don't
remember. I
know,
don't think
Macro is like
so.
Costco's in Thailand, and it's a trip.
I've seen it maybe, but I didn't go. I don't think I went because I did live in rural, the rural
Yeah.
side, so, like, I would have to travel out. So how do you like Bangkok? Because I did not feel it. I can't breathe.
Nah. So I
It's
originally
so
I'm from
dirty.
Boston.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm from Boston, and I actually went to school in New York,
Mm.
and Bangkok reminds me of New York, and I
Mhm.
don't need to be there. Like, I already had my fun time in college, like, I don't need to be there. There's way too much movement, there's way too much pollution, so
It's too
Bangkok is
fast for
not it for
you.
me.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's too fast. You want calm, right? Like you said, you want
Yeah.
calmness. Wow.
Mhm.
So let me ask you, what's your experiences with monks there? Like, have you visited any, sanctuaries?
I have from
Monasteries, I'm
me
sorry.
yeah,
Monastery.
like, I either or the temples. I'm actually gearing up to do a
Mhm.
silent meditation week, actually.
Oh, when is
I
that?
have it's just I'm gonna surrender to my
Mhm.
mind for 7 days. Like, I meditate and I journal, and for some reason, like, a silent retreat keeps coming up.
Yes.
And when I do hike to a lot of temples and past them, but I'm
Mm,
always too shy to like try to talk to the monk because I'm like, oh my gosh, are
mm,
my shoulders out? Are my
yeah.
knees out? Like, I don't want to be rude to your culture. I don't really understand. So I'm gonna wait for a day that we can hang out. You can teach me all your stuff and I can ask
Mm,
like all the questions.
hmm.
But from what I see, they're very well respected. Even when like I go for a run in the morning, that's when the monks are going around, and you'll see so many
Hmm.
people will stop just to get their blessing from them throughout the
Yeah.
day, which is something like I really admire because I have been so like infatuated with Buddhism ever
Hmm.
since I was a kid. It was like the one thing I didn't see really growing up. And
Yeah.
then I went to Japan in high school and I was like,
Woo!
what is this?
Girl,
What are they
I'm
doing?
going back there. After my master's, I want to go teach speech pathology in Japan. Like,
Okay.
I'm looking into that because with the license, I believe it's
Yeah.
international, like I can do that. So
Uh-huh.
I'm gonna look into more research, but hello, travel. Like travel is where it's at. Like, because I had the stopover in Japan at the airport. People are so nice, but like I
Mhm.
didn't go explore. I really want to. So Asia
Yes.
is my calling. Asia, like anywhere in Asia,
Yes. I'm so excited to visit you. I will meet you anywhere in Asia.
right? Anywhere. So funny. I want to know. So I know you're releasing your program. You already have, right? Tell us more about that.
Yes. All right. So I am actually launching my new 4-week Better Naked program. And I
Ooh,
have been working
I love
on
that
this.
name.
Yeah, it's the Better Naked Blueprint. Because
I'm
I'm going to
so
give
proud of
you
you.
the blueprint. Thank you.
Did you think
Thank
of
you.
this name?
Yes.
Oh my
Yes.
God. I would when I you have leveled up from when I first met you to the person you are now. Like there is a mindset change and just the fact that you released a program, it's like she's doing it. Like it's all about the journey. Like I was telling you right before we went live, like
Mhm.
no one can rush your process. Like it's not gonna work forced. You have to do it from innate, like within you, you know?
Mhm. That's pretty
Yeah.
much how I've been
What
feeling.
yeah, like what led you to do it? Like you felt like you were in after taking the time to yourself, you felt like now is the time. Like did you hear like a calling or like when did you know?
I feel like for me, even playing around with the name like Better Naked, it
Right?
has been something that I've been thinking about like
Ooh.
for months because for me, I'm not just talking about being better just physically naked, but being better
Mhm.
naked like with your true self and what that means
Wow.
for you. Yeah. So
Like
for me,
mentally,
I feel like,
wow. I didn't even
yeah,
think of that. Yeah. Go ahead.
yes.
Oh my
See?
God. Michael is going to watch this. Our coach, Michael Baptiste is going to be watching this.
Mhm.
It's going to be so funny.
Yeah. Oh, that okay, wait. So
Yeah.
in that, like I feel I one am like so grateful for your support throughout this whole time because it's like, yes,
Oh
we did this
yeah, we
business
forgot. I
coaching
forgot
together.
myself. I forgot you gave me testimonial. We had talked that one time, right? See how much like words can make a difference. Like support. Everyone
Mhm,
needs support. Like I'm telling you,
mhm,
like I didn't have that. That's why I am that person for other people because I literally didn't have that. I survived like on my own. Like I didn't have friends
true.
like that, you know? But yeah, go ahead.
No, like I would say you definitely helped me because there would be days where I was like completely off. And there was, of course, life
Oh,
happening, and not every day is a good day. And as you said, I'm not going to let anyone rush my process. And I felt like at one point I was letting people rush my process. And I'm like, all right, halt. And then you would come in, be like, I see you. You're doing great. Yes. Wait, you're selling yourself short. Or even when you would pop up,
yeah, I was like,
like, okay, are you
up the price. I was like, we're in America. I was like, $100? That's like biscuits, like for dogs.
Yes. So, like, for me,
Because
it
you can
was
forget.
like
Like living in
that
Thailand, the currency is like $20, $100. That's nothing over here. That $100 is like a dollar, like 50 cents now.
yeah,
Like,
and it take me back. Y'all if y'all got $100 lying around, I can so drop my cash app. It'll do great things here in Asia. I'm just saying. Like,
oh, I love it.
but
I love it.
I would
Yeah,
have
go
to
ahead.
say, like, the support of people that have seen me like from the beginning of, or where I would call the crossroads of just
Mm.
really diving into myself and loving myself has been like one of the reasons why I'm like, oh, now is the time to push out better naked, because I feel like I do have the blueprint. Like, I want women to embrace their energy.
Mm.
Like, I really want them to have a different mindset to feel more in control. I want them to transform their relationship with their body and feel more confident
Oh.
with their own skin. And I realized the only way to do that is to like meet women at their level, because for me, even here, I don't see too many women of color in my field. Like,
Yes.
okay, we're all doing the same. Twerk it,
Mm.
pop it. Like, no, 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 no. I don't judge anyone. That's just not for me. That's not what I'm looking for.
Mm.
And I have just been sitting with myself, like, okay, I'm getting a lot of compliments on my growth, on
Mm.
my energy, on my fitness plans. I'd be like, I didn't know. I'm really just working out all the time. Like,
Aw.
anything's a workout to me. And so when other people are starting to see this, it's like, okay, I want to help women reclaim their power. Like, I want you to
Mm.
see this yourself, because it's so great to admire someone else and have goals and things like that. But your true goal is the person in the mirror. So, yeah,
Ooh.
in my 4-week program, we'll be looking at it at a mind, body, and soul, like just connection. So it will include a coaching call where, like, I'm gonna tell you now, like, if you want me to be your coach, I'm on it. I'm not this fluffy. If you don't do what you're supposed to do, I'm gonna come through like the person you're not, like, hey, coach is here.
Mhm.
But I'm also going to give you those affirmations, and I'm also going to motivate you and hold you accountable. So we'll be going over calisthenics, we'll be going over Tabata, a little bit of martial arts
Yeah.
and journaling,
Yeah.
like actually breaking these things
Hmm.
down.
I want you
Mhm.
to also share your credentials. I just remembered Michael was saying you've worked with this person and that. Tell us about that so they can know.
Oh, man. Oh, man. All right, so let's
The
backtrack.
different the different forms of exercises, Muay Thai and all the other stuff you've done.
Yes. So starting with Muay Thai, as I said, I've trained for like
Mm.
5 years. I've trained in the States, I've trained in
Wow.
Dubai, and I've also
Wow.
trained here. Yeah, it's a whole thing. Um, I actually trained MMA, and I trained with a
Wow.
former lightweight champion, which was a very intense but wonderful situation, just in case he ever watches this. That's when I realized sparring ain't for me no more. Like, it's just not.
Mm.
It's just not. As well, I am a yoga teacher, which is another
Yes.
part. I have been studying meditation for about 3 years, and I'm also a
Mm.
meditation teacher. Let's see, I have been a track athlete, I have played basketball, I have done almost every sport. I've coached basketball, I've coached track, I've coached volleyball, I've also played volleyball. Like, anything that is active, I'm with it. And I
Wow.
make sure to study it. Like, I am the stranger that sits right, like, I'm standing next to the coach, but I'm watching the foot movement. Like, that's the
Mm.
zone I'm in. So when I want to learn something, I'm 100% serious. Like I said earlier, jujitsu, like I've already contacted.
Wow.
There's another like Black woman of color here on the island. She's like, train with me. Yep. What am I
Wow.
doing? I find time to watch it until I
Look at
can get
this.
into this.
Yeah.
Yes. So for me, I would say those would be my top credentials. I don't think I'm missing that. Yeah.
Wow. You are a credential yourself. I'm sure you and Michael had great conversation regarding foot movements and basketball and all of that.
Mhm.
But you finding another person, of your ethnicity in the area you live in, especially in Thailand, like there were no Black people where I lived in rural Thailand or others really. But I find that to be so interesting. Like you're aligned, you are where you're supposed to be. That's why it's working for you, right? But when you're
Mhm.
not where you're supposed to be, like that's when you're miserable.
When I wasn't, for me, it was when I wasn't comfortable with being naked. Like with
Wow.
being vulnerable has been a gain. Me even
Mm.
talking, like I am the observer. like the
Mm.
absolute observer. So I don't share often. I don't really want people in my business. So like all of this is new. And as you said, I feel
Wow.
like it is just the timing. Like I know I am exactly where I'm supposed to be in my life, in the world, and I'm no longer stressing it. Like I used to be a worry bot to a T. Like
Yeah.
I used to just take on everyone's stress.
Yeah.
And I have been working on releasing that. It's like, nah, I don't
Mm.
want that stress. Peace. I
Right?
I need none of that. Peace. Have fun.
Yeah,
Stay
you
away
don't
from
have to
me.
deal with that. I mean, you
Mhm.
don't have children. I don't know your personal life, but I'm saying like, I don't know. Are you single? I don't know. Are you?
Yes, I am
So
single.
you're single like me,
Mhm.
no kids like me. It's like we have the power to design our life. Like,
Mhm.
hello.
And be
So,
selfish, and it's okay with being selfish. That's something
yes.
I learned and I teach others. Like, it is so fine to be selfish
Yeah, we
because
only have
boundaries are needed with yourself and with others. So,
mm,
yes.
yeah, because we only have one mind. It's like I need to take care of myself. I don't want to be
Mhm.
responsible for anyone else. It is what it
Yes.
is. It's not for everyone. But wow, what else would you like to share?
Oh, I'm trying to think. What else is there to share?
Hmm.
Well, what I think is important, like why I even started to get more into fitness.
Mm.
Um, I would have to say that, as I mentioned before, I was a teacher
Yeah.
and I am a person that you cannot ever really, like, you won't see me sad. I'll smile through it all and you wouldn't know.
Oh.
And when I was in Dubai, I realized that I was like depressed. I was keeping it low key, but I
Mhm.
moved to a new country and created myself. Like I had to reinvent myself again. And
That's
that's
right.
strange coming from a large family because I have 8 aunts and uncles on both sides.
Wow.
So my family is very, very tight knit. And me moving, I was like, I I like this, but I don't like this, but
Mhm.
I'm not sure what to do. And the culture shock alone, it's
I was
like,
just gonna mention that. When did it hit you? It hit me 4 months later. I was like, "Ooh, Thailand." And then I was like, "Oh my god, like I wanna go home." You know?
see.
Like,
For
wow, I would
me,
wake up thinking I'm waking up in America.
I think for me it was the first like when I first got off the plane in
Mm.
Dubai, I was like, "Oh,"
Yes, right?
like especially because there's a separate place for women and men and
Oh,
the attire and how
oh, yeah.
fancy everything was. I was like, "We're not in Kansas anymore." I ain't never even been to Kansas, but I
I
was
didn't
like,
know
"What?"
that. Separate place for women and men at the airport?
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Like you can
wow.
have different lounge areas, different pray areas. It was
I
like,
don't know about that for me. Yeah,
see, so that
wow.
was a shock even before getting there, and I remember the first night, I couldn't sleep because
Mm,
it was silent. I said I am used to sirens. I'm used to all these kinda noises, and it
mhm.
wasn't there in Dubai, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, what am I gonna do? What am I doing here?" And it was very stressful because also at the
Mhm.
time, I had lost my great aunt, like, the first year I
Oh,
lived there, and then I lost my favorite aunt, like, my roll dog, Breeze, I have her tatted on my arm, like,
wow.
I lost her my 2nd year in Dubai, and when I tell you I didn't recognize that person, I was drinking Hennessy like it was water
Oh my
all
god.
the day. I was thinking Jameson, like,
Mm,
I shut out. I wasn't eating. I was not dealing with grief very
oh,
well at all. Like I was going crazy. And it wasn't until I had a mini intervention. It wasn't that nice at the time, but a few friends got me together like, no, we're worried. You need to go to therapy. It's okay to cry. It's all of this is okay.
wow.
And for me, growing up since I would say around the 8th grade, I've lost a relative almost every single year
Wow.
from 8th grade up until now.
Big
And so
family.
I learned, yeah, like I never had a chance to actually grieve because it's like, all right, we're gonna pull it together for the next one. And that's what I saw. And I
Mm,
only knew my survival mode. So when I was in Dubai all alone, I'm freaking out because like there is no next one coming after this. There is no family here. to support me. Like, this is crazy. All I have is this alcohol. And I come from a family who actually loves to drink their alcohol. I'm like, nah, I don't want this. And
Mm,
so I started going to therapy and I realized, like, okay, it's okay to talk about things. Like, I'm not crazy. I'm not crazy. I
mm,
love that part. Like, I need to release and accept my emotions, but I also need to be physically active. And I saw, like, in Dubai, I wasn't really working out that much. Like, I would go to the gym because it had AC. I did my little training, boom, boom, I'm out. But I'm not walking anywhere in Dubai. I ran a 10K on the beach. It was the worst idea still
mm,
one of the worst ideas ever. But I needed to change my environment because I was not able to be as active. Like, I was like, okay, this is great. Thanks, Dubai. This is not okay. It's really actually not okay. Like,
mm.
brunch is a huge thing in Dubai. Like, our
Wow.
buffets in the States, they have drink buffets. Now it's just in there. So I'm
Mm,
taking it back every weekend, if not every day. And when I started to become more active, like, I started
wow.
playing volleyball. I actually started to coach more and just go play basketball with my kids during lunch. Like,
Mm,
I needed to stay active. And when I saw the difference that I started to feel within, I was like, yeah, I gotta do this more. Like, I just want to study this. I want to make sure that I am understanding what's going into my body. I'm actually reading and not just plaguing my
mm,
mind with the news and just the negative
mm.
self-talk. So I would say having that time alone and going through that depression and anxiety, like, that was a major thing that made me dive all the way into my fitness because I'm like, yo, I don't even recognize who I am anymore.
Wow.
And I'm not making sense on any front. And I need to do something. I need to get out. So going back into the gym, hitting stuff, like, anger management works too, y'all. I just boom, something had to give. And that's why I feel, for me, I like to work with busy women of color because I know that life. I have been there. I have been stuck in the hustle and bustle. I have been the black sheep of my family, like, or the only one in the room. Like, okay, I guess I'm going to speak for all people of color because
Mm,
you all are staring at me. And I understand how much weight that puts on someone.
mm,
So when I started thinking about just my business and my relationship with fitness, I'm like, ah, no, we need to have fun. We need to praise each other. Like, we need to have affirmations. This needs to be a safe space. So that's what I like to
mm,
do as a coach, is just create a safe space because not every day is great. Some days you don't work out. Some days you feel
mm.
like crap. Some days you want to drink a lot. That's okay. Maybe not the drink a lot part, like, maybe not. Like,
Yeah.
I like to help others see
Mm,
the power in themselves, not beating themselves up for all the things they didn't do and all this. Like, I remember looking at empty bottles of alcohol on my counter, still trying to
wow.
find, like, dang. I was like, okay, I could be doing something else, but I'm gonna drink this. I needed to be okay with that rather than beating myself up, because the more
Mm.
you beat yourself up, the bigger the hole gets. So you're really not getting anywhere. So my whole goal is to just, come on, women, let's come out of this hole because we are all powerful together. And the power of the internet is amazing. Like, look at us. I have met so many people over the internet that I'm just like, okay, I am so excited to connect with more women. Let's all take advantage of technology and actually build a tribe. Not like,
Mm.
oh, yeah, this is my personal trainer. We worked together for a month. Like, nah, I'm in your corner. What are we doing? What are your goals? How can we work together? So
Maybe that's
that's
what you
it.
could call it. Be New Wellness Tribe.
It
Be New
is,
Tribe.
yes. I
Or
do.
Be
I got a
New.
few people in the tribe. So if anyone wants in, it's a wonderful tribe. It's like a garden over here, y'all. We are
Yeah.
flourishing.
Ooh, I
Mhm.
like that. Or Be New Tribe. Just Be New
Yeah.
Tribe, with the name.
Oh,
Thanks so much for sharing your story. So that's the real story. Have you shared it
yeah.
before? Like, I know you have it written now, right? Have you
Yeah.
that's truly where your passion comes from, is from being in that low point.
Mhm. Pretty
Yeah.
much, yeah.
So now you started to share it. That's a big deal. Like, you're so vulnerable now. How do you feel?
I feel good. I'm a softie now. I just embrace it. Gosh, I'm so soft now.
Wow.
I embrace it just because I realize my vulnerability is my power because it's
Mhm.
helping other women. Like, I just want to serve others. I just want to help others. So if that means sharing my story more and being uncomfortable,
Mhm.
somebody has to do it. Let's go. Like, I'll do it. I'm not afraid anymore.
Wow.
The time is now.
I like that. When did you first share your story?
Whoa. Like written or like,
Yeah, either way, because I remember when you were writing yours when we were in, our course together, and you were writing
mhm.
yours, but you didn't have it ready then. So at some point from last year to this year, right? And now you
Yeah.
speak about it.
Yes, I feel like I wrote it a few times, to be
Yeah.
honest.
But is this what you wrote? The truth that you just told me?
Oh, no. I mean, there's so much more that I wrote, but I just told you parts. Yeah, like, I probably
This
wrote
is
it out.
it. This
Yeah.
part, what you told me, like that is your why. You just told me your why, why you do it.
Wow. I don't remember when I wrote it. I remember writing different drafts and being afraid to share it, and I was like,
Hmm.
"Okay, well, I guess I have to share it on Instagram." So if anyone wants to learn more about my story, follow me on
Yes.
Instagram at
Yes.
@BNewWellness_. And then you
Yes.
can read it because I realize I actually can write. Like, I've known this, I just choose
Mm.
not to. And it was
Mhm.
just being honest with myself, like, all right, Brianna, you're gonna talk about being naked, but you don't
Mhm.
really want to write this out. And I was like, all
Mhm.
right, let me just shake it off and get it
Wow.
out there. Let's get these
Wow.
nerves. Mhm.
Wow. I'm looking forward to seeing where you'll be in the next few years, with your story and your mind.
Oh, thank you. I'm excited to see where you're going to be in the next few years. Like, your voice
Girl,
is
I'm
so
gonna have my
powerful.
masters.
For real. You look, you're gonna be somewhere. I'm gonna be like, hey, remember all the times we spent digitally talking? What's up? What
Oh,
country are you in?
I love it. I love it so much. Wow.
Yes.
Thanks so much for your time. It's great
Thank
having
you.
you on today.
Thank you. I hope that you
Yeah.
have a wonderful day. Thank you for having me. It's always great to connect with you. You are a ray of sunshine. Like, I just
No.
want you to know that. Don't let anybody think anything else.
Aw. Thank you. Wow. See, it's only when you're doing what you're supposed to. Otherwise, you wouldn't be as happy.
That is so true. I feel like this is the happiest I have ever been because
Wow.
I'm me. Hmm.
Wow. I love that. I love that. Happiest I've ever been because I'm me. Maybe that could be a shirt. I don't know.
Oh, all these ideas. I gotta write these down.
Yeah, Be New Wellness Tribe. That could be a shirt. So
Uh-huh.
many different ideas. You should look over this recording and maybe some ideas will come from products. Hmm.
Thank you. Ooh,
Yeah.
I will so do that.
And thank you for those tuning in. That was great. That was great.
Yes, thank you all.
Yeah. Thanks.